Hi, Leah here from My Sewing Room. We are going to be walking you through the exercises in Bernina's Sewing Machine Mastery book. Today I'm going to be working on page 5, Setting Up to Sew. The first things you need to be aware of when setting up your Bernina to sew is what you might be doing to sew. The basic parts of your machine, your thread is going to be held on a spool pin at the top of your machine. You will either be on your horizontal spool pin or your vertical spool pin. On your vertical spool pin, there's a foam disc that will help your thread sit smooth and ride off smoothly. This spool pin is for specialty threads and threads that are stack wound. The very first thing you might need to do on your Bernina is wind a bobbin. The bobbin winding I'm demonstrating applies to the Bernina 3 series, 4 series, 5 series, and 7 series. You will start from either your vertical spool pin or your horizontal spool pin, depending on the type of thread you're winding a bobbin with. You'll take the thread from that spool pin through the thread guide at the rear of the machine, around and under the tensioner following the direction of the arrow. You can put your bobbin on the bobbin winder. Depending on the series of your machine, your bobbins will either fit on only one direction, such as in the B9 hook systems, which is the new 4 series, the current 5 series, and the 7 series machines. The silver shiny side will be facing downward. You'll take the thread past the tensioner and wrap the thread 6 to 8 times or more, depending how slippery it is, around the bobbin. No need to stick the thread through the holes in those bobbins. Then you will cut off the thread at the small thread cutter located inside the switch to turn your bobbin winder on. Then to turn your bobbin winder on, just push it towards the bobbin and the bobbin winder will engage. You can stop it at any point if you do not want a full bobbin. If you want the bobbin filled all the way, it will auto fill until the end, turning off when the bobbin is full. When you remove the bobbin, you can pull the bobbin directly upwards and use that tiny little thread cutter located in your switch to cut that thread. When you're ready to place your newly wound bobbin into your machine, you will need to be able to remove your bobbin case. On the front load bobbins, such as the 7 series, the new 4s, and the new 5s, you'll just gently pull the door open, and using the little silver horizontal bar, you'll gently press that and your bobbin case will release. You can pull that right out of the machine and remove the other bobbin. To remove your bobbin from the bobbin case, gently lift out on your bobbin. To place a new bobbin, freshly wound, in your bobbin case, your shiny silver side from the bobbin can match in towards the shiny silver side inside your bobbin case. Holding the tail of thread, find the small opening in the side of the bobbin case and guide the thread into that opening, and then pull up and under that large silver spring. Your next spot that the thread is going is through the little wire guide. You'll pull it under, off to the side, and then give it a little tug upward to place it through both guides. At this point, your bobbin is in the bobbin case and ready to sew. To place your bobbin in the bobbin case, slide it in horizontal bar and ensure your little wire guide is at the top. From there, you can cut the bobbin thread on the small cutter to the right of the door. When you're ready to start sewing, you can close the door. Located on the door on some models is your bobbin sensor. For it to work properly, the bobbin door does need to be closed and free of lint. On your Bernina machine, you have 3 different size spool caps to use on your horizontal spool pin. Your largest spool cap is designed for threads with a big round fat end. Your medium-sized spool cap is designed for threads that have a somewhat medium-sized end. And your smallest spool cap is designed to fit inside threads that are cone-shaped. When you're placing your thread on the machine, you'll want to place your cross-wound threads on your horizontal spool pin and use your spool cap to tightly secure your thread to the spool pin so it doesn't jump and wiggle. Your foam pad will stay living on your vertical spool pin. To thread the top of your machine, you'll want to ensure very first that your presser foot is all the way up. This ensures that your tension unit is open and that the thread will slide into the tension unit. When you start from the spool, you will again be going to the rear thread guide and pulling the thread up and underneath the silver guide. As you come across to the front of the machine, you're going to pull it down. Your tension unit is located right there. You're going to go down behind your silver bar, back up into your take-up lever. The thread will slide down into the end of it, and then back down the front of the machine. When you get to the front, you can guide the thread behind your first thread guide here, and then behind the second thread guide, which is a small wire-shaped piece right at the top of your needle. A gentle tug will get the thread in where you need it. One of my favorite features of your Bernina machine is your auto threader. To use your threader, you will gently pull down on the black lever. As you pull it down, if you pause about 3/4 of the way down, there's a little tiny gray bump. You'll guide the thread underneath that gray bump, which will help hold it in the right place to continue the threading process. What you'll need to do is push down firmly with your left hand and then guide the thread over across in front of the needle with your right. As you pull down on the black lever for your threader, you'll note that on some models, your presser foot will lower itself and engage your tension on your thread. There's a small guide that your thread will pass above into a small notch on the right-hand side. And there's a hook coming through the eye of the needle that is going to grab your thread and pull it through the eye for you as you gently release that black lever back to the top. You can pull that tail of thread outward and cut the thread off on the side of the machine. At this point, the top of your machine is ready to sew. To attach a new presser foot to your machine, you will use the lever located on the left-hand side of the presser foot shaft and gently raise it upward. To pull the foot off the machine, pull straight downward. Your feet are held onto your machine with a cone-shaped end on the presser foot shaft. To reattach your foot, push the foot onto the cone and engage the lever. If the presser foot you are adding onto your machine is a dual feed presser foot, as indicated by the letter D on your foot, you will attach the foot as you attach other feet, engage the lever, and then you will need to engage your dual feed mechanism. Your dual feed mechanism is located on the back of the machine and is designed to be pulled down with your finger. Pull it gently down and it will lock into position on the small triangle. This can only be done with your presser foot in the fully raised position. To release your dual feed mechanism, you'll need to pull down gently and very slightly to release beyond the little securing mechanism, and then gently release your dual feed lever back up to the back of the machine. On your Bernina sewing machine, you may need to change out your stitch plate or remove it for cleaning. To take your stitch plate off your machine, you're going to press on the bullseye on the back right-hand corner of your stitch plate. This will pop the front left-hand corner of your stitch plate upward and allows for easy removal. To return your stitch plate to your machine, you can line up the left-hand side of the stitch plate and secure the clips on the side and push down gently on the right to secure in place.